already.
Emig didn't waste any time getting around Larry Ward, and Ward, who has failed to hang on to the whole shot 2 weeks running, is in danger of going to third, and Jeremy's got him.
Emig holding the edge as they go for the jump. Jeff was never really in the first race of the year in Orlando, where he started out 11th. Back to Anaheim, California. 250 Supercross main event action. Jeff Emig in front of Jeremy McGrath. Number 11 is Larry Ward in third, with Jeff Stanton in fourth. And back in the pack
is Jeremy McGrath. He broke the bike, landing on the cases on a triple jump.
Meanwhile, out in front, Jeremy McGrath is tuning in on Jeff Emig. Emig, one of only 2 riders other than Jeremy to lead laps this year.
Ooh, looky there. McGrath did a triple jump to the inside, took the line away from Emig. Jeremy knows that he just makes Emig crazy. These two guys don't like each other, and McGrath uses it on Emig.
Emig fighting back, taking the inside now as they go wheel to wheel.
Wow, what a comeback. Emig, not having any of it, says, I don't like this guy, I want to be in front of him, and he put a great retaliatory pass on Jeremy McGrath. Has anybody else passed Jeremy McGrath this year? Not that I remember.
Absolutely correct, Dave, as they come off the whoops. Let's check this move, and Emig able to take the line away from Jeremy.
And brake checked him a little bit. I tell you, before this year is out, I think there's going to be trouble between these two guys, because they not only don't like each other, but they don't make any bones about it. I mean, Jeremy's made some very strong comments about this guy in print, and you know Emig can read.
Stanton taking Ward, or very close, picking up the slack between him and Jeff Emig now.
I would look for the first 3 to get away from Ward. There is number 8. That's Doug Henry. He's riding 5th.
Jeff Matasevich right behind him as Jeremy McGrath couldn't quite get the muster out of the corner.
He's keeping the pressure on Emig. He wants to force the mistake and get to the lead. And right here is where he passed him last time.
Emig takes the short jump. Jeremy takes the triple, looks up at him as if to say, what are you doing up there? I'm taking this thing over.
Or as if to say, I could have done that anytime I wanted, Emig. There's no way you could race with me. Emig will just go crazy now trying to catch back up with him.
He caught him one time before this race, but Jeremy looks a little more determined now, much more aggressive.
He's not going to catch him again. This thing is over.
Wins in consecutive seasons, but Davey gets closer to that mark of 5 straight.
Jeremy riding through the rough stuff. All fast guys lined up on the right-hand side of your screen. He's taking the more difficult line, and LaRocco, number 7, is also over on that rough line. LaRocco, again, didn't get a good start. Jeremy McGrath in just the position he'd like to be, putting heat on Jeff Emig. Emig number 6, McGrath in second in that order. LaRocco's moving quickly. You saw him challenging Lamson there. He made that odd line work very well, because in the next corner in jump series, he was able to pass a couple of 3 people. So maybe that line isn't as bad as we thought it was. How long can Emig hang on? They've had their battles this year, Dave. Yeah, they really have. They don't make any bones about the fact that they don't like each other. Had a dispute over a girlfriend a while back, and the hostility lingers. Here it is again. Emig takes the smoother line over on the left. Look at Jeremy struggling through the rougher inside line. Lost a lot of time that time. Jeremy seems to pick up on the straightaways, though, and in the jump sections. Closes it right back down, doesn't he? He is so smooth. He just has that remarkable ability to make the motorcycle, to make him a lot, because he doesn't get good starts. And out in front, it's Emig still holding off. Number 1, Jeremy McGrath. Stumbling just a little bit, and McGrath takes that same line again, Dave. He's determined he's going to make that work. But look how Emig pulls away in the tail end of that section. It's just too rough to get through there smoothly. I guess the reason Jeremy wants to stick with it and make it work is because ultimately it becomes the inside line into the corner. If he can get through there quickly enough, he can get alongside Emig and make a pass. But boy, that's 2 tries, and it hasn't paid off either time. What Jeremy always does well is finds the good line. I'm surprised to see him stick with that one for so long. Emig has not won his first Supercross race yet. He's come close in 1 second and 2/3 on the season. Can he hold? Your race, says Skip Norfolk with the pit board. So Jeremy now is picking his spots. Look out, he's going to try to dive into the inside here. Nah, that's not going to work. Oh, once more, we'll see what he does with this whoop section. He's going to go for it again. This time he's got the momentum. Let's see if he can make it happen.
Oh, Emig's got him.
See, it just doesn't work. You just can't go that fast because it's so much rougher over on the right-hand side of the racetrack.
So Jeremy's going to have to pick another spot to take on Jeff Emig.
How about this spot right here? Notice the different lines. You're exactly right. Jeremy likes the inside. Emig will go wide, cut back under him. It's really not a pass. It looked like a pass, but it really wasn't because Emig had that inside line covered when they exited off the corner.
It's interesting because Emig is not giving Jeremy too many breaks. Too many opportunity. Jeremy looked like he landed and cased it very hard. Skip Norfolk calls for him to get to the front right now, but it looks like Jeremy's slowed off a little bit. Jeff Emig in the lead as we'll be back with more 250 Supercross action after these words. Welcome back to Supercross action from San Jose, California. Jeremy McGrath, the defending champion, trying to nail down his second consecutive title, is following Jeff Emig, number 6, which has started now. Here's our leader, Jeff Emig, with Jeremy McGrath right behind him. He's picked up the slack, looking once again to make a move, it looks like, Dave.
Yeah, he's closed it up a little bit, but again, this looks like a more conservative Jeremy than, well, I don't know. He's right there, isn't he? He's willing to take the risk.
Jeremy cuts to these. Oh, and they both go down. Emig, he's stunned. Jeremy's bike is still running. LaRocco makes the pass. It is Mike LaRocco now in first place as Emig can't get the bike restarted.
Look at it. Wanted to put the block pass on Emig and basically just took Emig's front wheel out from under him. Emig will be very unhappy, and I think
he can show us that he's been able to show us so far. And this is a great look at him out in the lead. He's still been able to hang on to it, but look at this. McGrath, who was back there in fourth, has closed the gap quick.
And it's against an old rival of his, Emig, in third place. Let's see about the timing. It looked a little rough on that one. Almost cased it. Trying to pick up the slack, though. McGrath going to the inside. Emig. Oh, they almost touched. Emig. Let's go to his mechanic and Jan.
Steve, Jeff is in a battle for third place. Do you think he's saving anything for the end?
Yeah, I think he's been in a position to watch some of them guys. And Jeremy's behind him. You know, I think the ruts are getting deeper. They're all having trouble, I think. You know, right now, it's just a matter of who can make the least mistakes.
Where do you think they're having the trouble right now?
The majority of it is all because of the ruts. It's getting deeper. The lines are changing. They're going to have to start looking around and seeing what's out there.
Thanks.
What a perfect shot from the Honda helmet cam, too, to show us those ruts, David.
Right. You see Jeremy right there electing to go just a little bit wide and not choose that rut, but still his timing appears to be off. To keep his feet out of there. I know he's pretty tall, and I always had a problem with that, getting my feet hung up in those ruts.
Look at the rut as they go around there. Emig slowing down big time to make sure that he doesn't cross up.
Well, you get crossed up in those ruts, and the other thing, too, is you get in there deep, and sometimes you drag the foot pegs, and you lose momentum, and you even could drop the chain, so you got to ride the front wheel kind of high on the wall to keep more ground clearance.
Our Suzuki field summary now as we run down the list. Albertine in 9th. Hughes, a 125 rider, into 10th place. Henry still our leader. We'll be back with all the exciting action in a moment. We see the 250 action from the point of view of our Honda helmet cam atop the lid of Jeremy McGrath. He's not used to looking to the back of Jeff Emig.
Well, it's pretty late in the race, Art, and McGrath is still behind all these guys. He caught
Henry. Can he take over first place on this turn? Cuts inside of Henry. Good position for Emig. And Henry had to slow down.
Oh, he lost his timing right there in that section of the road. Right there, Henry goes by McGrath on the inside. I don't know if McGrath appreciates him. Look over. He's like, what are you trying to do?
It looked like what McGrath did to Michael Craig earlier in the race.
Well, another look at what happens. McGrath jumps over Henry, and then Henry jumps over. Oh, McGrath looks up at him. That was close. He could have come right down on his shoulder. That was scary. Here's another angle from McGrath. Oh, look how close that is. A handlebar in the shoulder. That could
and beat Jeremy McGrath, who's now giving him some heat. What a race this has become.
McGrath cases on the outside of that jump, charges back up the inside. It looks like Emig runs him into the hay bales. McGrath back up the inside, forces him wide, and takes over the lead.
Losing his timing, McGrath. Emig puts the throttle down. He boxes him out and takes the lead back.
Boy, this is great. No one's been able to challenge McGrath like this, and who better to do it than Emig? These guys in the past haven't really appreciated each other, and right now they're doing battle. This is great.
This is easily our most exciting race of the year. Emig
He was more concerned with McGrath, it looked like.
Well, I think he thought McGrath was going to come in there and take him out, so he paused, and that lets Kedrowski into second. Now Kedrowski into the picture, and he seems to be on the charge.
Kedrowski's got good momentum as he takes on Jeremy McGrath. Makes the pass on McGrath and Emig. Oh, we've got a great battle now between Emig and Kedrowski.
And McGrath just went from first to third right there as he jumps the triple and almost gets the back end of Emig. This is the best battle I've seen in a long time. You've got like 5 guys still right here with a chance to win, with LaRocco kind of the caboose right now.
Kedrowski, this is easily his best run of the year. Let's go to you.
Yeah, he changed his technique a little bit. What's he doing different? He's racing the track, not the riders. Thanks, Brian.
Well, I think he should have been doing that all along, Art, but it's not too late to start, and it sure is paying off right now.
Yeah, he passed Henry, McGrath, and Emig in 1 lap as we take a look at the field here. It's so tightly bunched. Kedrowski the leader, Emig in second, McGrath third. And LaRocco, number 2 on the inside, fourth. Jeremy with the edge. Oh, a great rivalry battle underway between 1 and 2. LaRocco to the inside. He will take over third position.
A momentary lapse of concentration for McGrath there. Another mistake in the whoops. He's lucky to stay on the racetrack. Around the corner slow. He's just completely out of rhythm right now.
Here's Jeremy.
Here's another look at that exchange through the whoop section. These guys flow right by both sides of McGrath. Well, he's just going backwards right now. And Kedrowski looking sharper than he's looked all season.
And the checkered flag for Mike LaRocco. Just in front of MK, number 7, Mike Kedrowski. Emig will be on the podium in third, McGrath fourth. And a good takeoff by Jeremy McGrath. Number 6, Jeff Emig. He gets the whole shot. He's got the lead around turn 2. It's Emig, McGrath, then Kyle Lewis, Michael Craig. We've got Henry, and then LaRocco.
Pretty good battle up front. You know what always happens is Jeremy puts a pass on these guys right away and checks out. Right now, Emig seems to be holding a little bit of a cushion over Jeremy, and if he is unable to get away.
The Cowies are on the move. Emig number 1, Jeremy McGrath right on his tail.
And Emig is doing a nice job of holding off Jeremy McGrath. Usually around this time, Jeremy has already made his pass and is checked out, but right now Emig's making a good race out of it.
Jeremy looking a little bit more relaxed after
breaking out of sync, like what happened to him in Daytona and in Atlanta.
Emig's best finishes on the year, 2 third places, 1 in Anaheim and 1 in Atlanta. And David, he's running as well as we've seen him run all season now. Round 9 of the U.S. Supercross. Jeff Emig is out in front. He's looking for his very first Supercross victory on the 250 machine. But look at who's behind him. Number 1, defending champion, 2 consecutive years. Jeremy McGrath is looking for a 3rd championship, and he's putting the heat on. Side by side. Emig gets the angle on the corner and boxes him out.
Jeremy's got to be getting frustrated because he's got company from the Kawasaki camp coming up from behind, and he can't. I don't see any place on this racetrack where Jeremy's that much faster.
This race might come down to endurance, but you're right about the Cowies coming up from behind on Jeremy McGrath. Let's go down to Jan Beekes, who's with Steve Butler, Emig's mechanic, on the floor of the Astrodome.
Steve, obviously Jeff is right where you want him to be. Have you told him how close Jeremy is?
I'm sure he's aware Jeremy was right beside him there in the whoops, but I guess it's the best place to start with a good start, so we'll just see.
Do you think he has the kind of speed that a couple places on the track he actually pulls away just a little?
Yeah, I think he's doing everything everyone else is, so it's just a matter of doing it for 20 laps. I think Jeremy may pull something out, but we just have to see.
Well, it's up to you to motivate him, huh?
Yeah, he definitely needs to do that, I think.
Thanks.
McGrath looking for his 7th win of the season. It would really help the point situation if he could pull it off, and he goes side by side. But Emig says, I'm not letting you cruise by.
Emig is rock solid. He hasn't cracked yet. He's under the serious pressure from McGrath, and he's really not blocking him. McGrath is trying everything he can, and that's what makes it kind of look like Emig's taking his line away.
Beekes has moved over to Skip Norfolk.
Skip, it looked like Jeremy almost had him there. How's he going to be able to pull off a pass?
Well, Jeff's riding a really strategic race right now. He's taking all the lines away from Jeremy. Jeremy's got to figure a way to get around him, and now, because when these 2 guys are racing out front, it's going to give Mike and Mike a chance to catch him.
Now, when the bike bogged in the heat, it didn't happen until the end. Are you pretty confident you fixed that?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident we got it fixed. I made him hammer on it hard in the parade lap to see if we were going to do anything. I warmed it up and got it hot before we went out there. It seems to be working pretty good right now, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, he's making it exciting. Thank you.
Thanks.
36,919 fans in the Astrodome are being treated to a tremendous competition right now, David. Emig, number 6. Jeremy McGrath, number 1. McGrath just looking at every turn, trying to get by Jeff Emig. And there he takes advantage of the opportunity.
That was brilliant by Jeremy, because tangled in to Craig, and it looked like it pulled a kidney belt out of Mike Craig's pants. Craig was lucky he didn't go down in the process.
Jeremy
Got
McGrath.
the speed to catch him, but he's still got a long ways to go. And right now, Emig is already starting to drop off the pace. A lot of guys can do the same thing Jeremy can do for a few laps, but they can't do it for 20, and that's the fans.
Only one win away from that 27 mark set by Bob Hanna, the second winningest rider in history. Got to be proud of Emig. Emig placing second, his best finish of the year, in 5th position. And Jeremy tossing the goggles to the fans.
And for the second week in a row, I think Jeremy's pretty stoked to see who ends up in second, stealing some points away from the Kawasaki guys. And Emig and Jeremy, despite differences in the past, have been getting along.
That was a great ride for you. For a long time, you held off Jeremy. That was probably one of the better rides you've had. Where did he take you? Well, I don't really remember. I think he took me across the flat spot. I was resting a little. I mean, I've been kind of tired all day. I don't know what the deal is, but I mean, I was wanting to win that thing just as bad as ever. But you had the speed that you haven't had for a while. Has that helped your confidence somewhat? Yeah, because I knew that both Mikes were behind me, and I knew that if I just kept doing all the obstacles, they would never catch me. What was your trick in holding Jeremy back? Did you know the lines he was trying to do and then blocking those? Yeah, it's a little bit one line. I mean, you know, he got past me in an open spot, but... Hey, water. Well, obviously, you need some water to quench yourself, but that's a nice ride. Thanks. Yeah, thanks. I'd like to thank all the fans down here, you know, in Houston. They're great. Thanks. Well, Jeremy, congratulations. You've done it again. Now, with Emig, do you think he was going to put on that strong of a charge? You guys had a good battle. Well, Emig rides really good. He's been coming on here late in the series, and, you know, it's nice to see a battle there. I mean, I'm kind of glad he was in between me and LaRocco at the end, but, I mean, he was putting up a fight. It's definitely hot here in the Houston Astrodome, and we can feel it. Everybody seems very fatigued, but obviously you came out on top. You said if you won one more race, that was going to take the pressure off of you. Do you feel more relaxed now going into the next round? Yeah, we have a week off. Just ready to regroup and take a little time off and come back strong at Pontiac. You know, this is just another tale. Hey, congratulations. Thanks.
Jump out of the gate.
Emig, good job. Leska, good job. McGrath is about in 10th position right now, but then he shoots by 4 riders right before the next turn. Emig is our leader. LaRocco got a good start. There's Phil Lawrence, 13. Number 3. We're almost to the halfway point. 11 laps left. Emig, LaRocco to the inside of the whoops. LaRocco moving on those whoops. Oh, and LaRocco comes down hard. The greatest in sports history on the line.
Watch Jeremy. He'll go to the outside and get a burst of speed coming off the corner.
And he cuts in front of LaRocco. Jeremy McGrath brings the crowd to their feet. Holy mackerel. We're in St. Louis, aren't we? I can say that. Harry Carey.
Look at LaRocco. He's got an excellent line coming off of that section. He gets Jeremy back briefly.
Bar to bar. McGrath takes the advantage in the triple. LaRocco, he gets the black pass. Oh, what great infighting.
That's what it's going to take. The guy that wants it the most right now is the guy that's going to win this race. To keep it upright. I can tell you he's a little irritated with that. He's not going to let these guys boss him around much more.
Fender to fender. Here comes Jeremy again.
This is the last lap where LaRocco, watch what he does right here. He jumps all the way off.
Good move.
Over that little kicker on the end of that jump into the corner, makes up a lot of time.
8 laps remaining in this 250 main. Oh, look at the move. LaRocco and Emig going at it now. Coming through the whoops. Great move by LaRocco to the inside. And then the double jump by Emig to retake the lead.
Well, the design of this track, everyone thought was pretty simple early in the day, but it's really proved to be some of the best racing all year because of the options out there and the fact that it's getting so rutted. These guys make mistakes.
Mike Craig is pulling up some space on the 3 leaders.
Yeah, he's made up quite a bit of time.
Behind him, just to inform the Ezra Lusk fans, and then Larry Ward behind Ezra. But we're looking at the true battle of the year right now.
Jeremy's still using that outside. He gets right up next to LaRocco, but he can't make anything happen. LaRocco controls the corner.
Boy, you got to pick the right rut. Woo!
Look at LaRocco. He scoots off over that. I really like how he's doing that. He wheelies over the beginning bump as they start up that little whoop-de-doo section and hops over that little lip. That's what set up the pass for him before on Jeremy to get him back. If he gets close enough, he can get Emig there.
You know, Jeremy's being patient right now after putting the wheel up there and testing LaRocco.
Section, he'll wheelie the front wheel and hop over there.
But Emig has the angle. No contact, just a good block pass. And Jeremy McGrath is pulling up close once again.
Right, well, Emig is making it difficult for LaRocco to get around. LaRocco, though, up the inside again.
Now Emig, LaRocco bumps and comes off the bike. Jeremy McGrath leaps by him.
What a save by LaRocco, but now Jeremy's around him.
And that's Michael Craig in 4th place,
and
number 17.
Wait till Emig glances over his shoulder and doesn't see that number 8 anymore. That's going to make him nervous.
Jeremy McGrath right on the tail of Jeff Emig.
Now look at this, McGrath all the way on the inside.
They pass up Todd DeHoop. We're going to have a great battle here as Jeremy McGrath almost took off himself. And Mike LaRocco picking up on McGrath.
It's the most mistakes I've ever seen McGrath make, but you know what? If he wins the race, who cares? You know, it's a difficult track, and you can see how deep these ruts are getting. You can't expect to not make any mistakes. Watch McGrath right here. He gets cross-rutted a little bit. Nice body English to keep that on the track. That's where Lawrence went off right there and hit that hay bale. So a little bit better balance perhaps by Jeremy.
Jeremy's been able to pick up some time here in the whoops. Let's see if he can get close to Emig once again as LaRocco's right behind him.
And now Jeremy has learned. You see him riding the inside down through that whoop section because he knows LaRocco's on his tail. He doesn't want LaRocco to get around. He also feels like if he's close enough, he can get around Emig the same as LaRocco was trying to do.
Oh, this is the battle we've been calling for all year. Emig out in front with Jeremy McGrath in 2nd, and LaRocco cased one, but he's still up in 3rd. There's the top 5 on our Suzuki Field summary.
Emig has just been like a machine so far. He hasn't missed any of his lines. He's got the same lines. His lap times have slowed just a little bit, but so have everyone else's.
5 laps to go. Jeremy looks like he wants to make a move.
Looks like he's going to stay out of the way.
Wise move by Taylor to let these guys battle it out. But Henry now is in front of LaRocco.
Look how close Jeremy is, and Emig moves right over to the inside.
Could this be the evening that Emig holds on to it all?
The ruts are starting to take their toll on Jeff
White
Emig.
flag lap. 1 lap to go. Can Emig do it?
He's got a good, comfortable lead right now. Unless Jeremy can stay closer than this, Emig's got the composure to hold on to it.
Emig's 1 win in Supercross history was Las Vegas. McGrath was not in the field.
Jeremy just had lost a little bit of time, but he jumped that section that LaRocco was doing, made it back up. Watch him through the whoops up the inside.
Emig doing a good job through the whoops.
I think the key might be that final corner where Jeremy got around Lawrence for the heat race.
I'll tell you, the fans are all out of their seats with good reason. Emig leading Jeremy McGrath in the final lap. Here's the 2nd to the last turn. Emig, flawless. McGrath is not close enough to make a move on the final turn. It is Jeff Emig.
I don't believe it, Art. I don't think Emig does either. He jumped about 10 feet past the landing of that finish line jump, hands in the air.
His first legitimate Supercross win, I think, in his heart, because Jeremy McGrath was not in the field in Las Vegas.